Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
वालेकुम सलाम व रहमतुल्लाह। क्या है गुलाम अली?
Alhamdulillah, ठीक है क्या है यार?
हाँ माशाल्लाह, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, बराबर।
Uh, can we have our cameras on, please? All of us. Qazi, Mahir, Rehan, Hussein. Okay. Can everybody see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start, inshallah. We will start straight away with recitation. Surah Al-Anfal, ayah number 53. Until 56. Bismillah. Riyaz uncle, Bismillah.
Paul, it came intermittent, so I didn't catch my name.
Okay.
So from is it Dali?
Yes.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ذلك بأن الله لم يك مغيرا نعمة ذلك بأن الله لم يك مغيرا نعمة أنعمها على قوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم وأن الله سميع عليم. كدأب آل فرعون والذين من قبلهم كذبوا بآيات ربهم فأهلكناهم بذنوبهم وأغرقنا آل فرعون وكل كانوا ظالمين. إن شر الدواب عند الله الذين كفروا فهم لا يؤمنون. الذين عاهدت منهم ثم ينقضون عهدهم في كل مرة وهم لا يتقون.
Son, Riyaz uncle, beautiful, mashallah, as always. But I'm going to be a bit critical on today's recitation. So basically, all the rules are perfect. It's just some inconsistencies that I'm looking at. So first of all, it's the letter Ain. I think you are because of the way they are coming in between the verses between alif and ain. Sometimes you get carried away with not pronouncing the ain as it's supposed to be from the middle part of the throat. So ala, yeah, alif is from the bottom part and ain is from the middle part. So there is a difference. For example, in here, ni'matan, this was correctly pronounced. Then when you came here, an'amaha, here is where the problem started. The alif, there is a hamza here and there is a ain here. So I think that's where the problem is. When the alif and ain comes together in one word, you get a problem. So like the ni'matan was correctly pronounced, but an'amaha, it's you were like an'amaha. The ain was not coming out that explicitly. So just concentrate on that part. Like for example, here in sharrat dawab this was perfect. عند الله كفروا فهم لا يؤمنون. This was correct. But again, when it came to the next verse, الذين عاهدت, you went back again. So like because the ain was not coming out very clearly. So you went back again and you recited, and then the second time was correct. Then again you went back, and then the third time again it was not the perfect ain that we need. So just be a bit more careful with the ains. It's like the concept. It's just the consistency. And then the other rule was in this verse here, verse number 54. وَكُلٌّ كَانُوا. Now the gunna was perfectly applied. وَكُلٌّ, but then you have to connect it with the kaf here in ayat number 54, the ending of ayat number 54. وَكُلٌّ, so the gunna should be such that it should be connecting with the next word. So وَكُلٌّ كَانُوا ظَالِمِينَ. So that's the rule of ikhfa.
So was I leaving a gap there?
Yeah, what you were doing is you are separating the kaf and the gunna. It's supposed to be combined. What you are doing is wakullun, then come to the next word kanu, whereas it's supposed to be wakullun, and then your mouth should be such that it should be pronouncing the next word already. So it should be wakullun kanu zalimin. So there is like you're doing, yeah.
It's like raising your head to catch it up. Like I'll recite it, please.
Yes.
Then I'll recheck, please.
Yes.
وَكُلٌّ كَانُوا ظَالِمِينَ.
This is perfect now. The way you did it right now is perfect. So it's basically you have it, you know the rule. It's just sometimes we tend to forget as human beings. So that was the way you recited it right now was perfect. The first time I will show you how you recited it was وَكُلٌّ كَانُوا ظَالِمِينَ. You see, there is a disconnect between the gunna and the kaf. Whereas it's supposed to be وَكُلٌّ كَانُوا ظَالِمِينَ. Okay,
So the trajectory has to be continuous.
Yes.
Okay.
So those were the only two areas in today's recitation. Otherwise, all the other, like the qalqala was perfect. The elevation of the dhad and the, I didn't say any swad, but the dhad was perfect in ثُمَّ يَنْقُضُونَ. Okay, maybe because it has a dhamma, so elevation was perfect. Even the qaf, the way you are reciting, beautiful, mashallah. So, ahsant, Riyaz uncle.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you, Muhammad Nazir?
I'm good. What about you?
Alhamdulillah.
Please, which surah is it?
This is Surah Al-An'am, ayah number 53. Sorry, Surah Al-Anfal. Anfal, ayah number 53. Ghazi, Bismillah.
Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ذلك بأن الله لم يكن مغيرا نعمة 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 أنعمها على قوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم وأن الله سميع عليم كدأب آل فرعون والذين من قبلهم كذبوا بآيات ربهم فأهلكناهم بذنوبهم وأغرقنا آل فرعون وكل كانوا ظالمين إن شر الدواب عند الله الذين كفروا فهم لا يؤمنون الذين الذين أحدت منهم ثم ينقضون عهدهم في كل مرة وهم لا يتقون.
Ahsant. Ghazi, nice recitation. There are some inconsistencies, like, for example, in the short and the long vowels. So, for example, in the first verse, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَمْ يَكُنْ. This is a short vowel, yeah. Don't make it 1.5 counts or 2 counts, yeah. ثُمَّ لَمْ يَكُ مُغَيِّرًا. And when you come to the wow, when you see a dhamma, a wow after a dhamma, that is 2 counts, yeah. So, for example, يُغَيِّرُوا, and also the other example was كَفَرُوا, yeah. So those are long vowels. So just differentiate between the short and the long vowels. And the other part was the letter dha, is in وَكُلٌّ كَانُوا ظَالِمِينَ. This is dha, yeah, the elevated dha. So what you are doing is you are reciting it as the English letter Z. It's not Z, it is وَكُلٌّ كَانُوا ظَالِمِينَ. Just repeat after me. وَكُلٌّ كَانُوا ظَالِمِينَ.
وكل كانوا ظالمين.
Exactly. That's the way the dad is supposed to be pronounced. And you tend to have forgotten the rule of qalqala, or is it maybe you missed out? بِذُنُوبِهِمْ. Just recite this. بِذُنُوبِهِمْ until Fir'aun.
بذنوب okay. بذنوبهم وأغرقنا آل فرعون.
Now, where is the qalqala to be applied here?
On قاف.
On qaf, yeah. So there is supposed to be an echo, yeah.
Yeah.
وَأَغْرَقْنَا. That's the echo, yeah. The echo should be apparent to the listener as well. So just remember that it's بِذُنُوبِهِمْ وَأَغْرَقْنَا آلَ فِرْعَوْنَ. Repeat again.
بذنوبهم وأغرقنا آل فرعون.
Yeah, much better. But just make the echo more apparent. And differentiate between the alif and the ain, yeah. Ain is supposed to be from the middle part, where you capture the air in the middle part of the throat and pronounce ah, yeah. Whereas alif is from the bottom part of the throat, yeah. For example, inna sharra dawabi indallah. So this is from the bottom part, and this is from the middle part. So just remember those differences, yeah. Otherwise,
Yeah.
good recitation.
Thank you.
Hussein, Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ذلك بأن الله لم يكن مغيرا نعمة أنعمها على قوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم وأن الله سميع عليم كدأب آل فرعون والذين من قبلهم كذبوا بآيات ربهم فأهلكناهم بذنوبهم وأغرقنا آل فرعون وكل كانوا ظالمين إن شر الدواب عند الله الذين كفروا فهم لا يؤمنون الذين عاهدت منهم ثم ينقضون عهدهم في كل مرة وهم لا يتقون.
Ahsan, I think you were just about to go up and it's the time to stop. So I think for you, it's a shorter passage. I think you should recite the whole page so that we can get the full version. Do you want to continue? Continue, please.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فإما تثقفنهم في الحرب فشرد بهم من خلفهم لعلهم يذكرون وأما تخافن من قوم خيانة فأنبذ إليهم على سواء إن الله لا يحب الخائنين.
Ahsan, that was beautiful. Actually, I have nothing much to point out. Your variation in June is at its peak right now. So just make it better and better. Just a few areas which I want to bring to your attention. One is this. I don't know if you're familiar with the rule of Ra. When the Ra has a Fatha or a Dhamma, it is elevated. Yeah, it's a chameleon letter. And when it's got a Kasra, it is with, you recite it normally, yeah, not elevated. So for example, and also if the letter Ra has a Sukun, then you look at the letter before it. If it's got a Fatha or a Dhamma, then that Ra is elevated. Whereas if the letter before it has got a Kasra, then that Ra is not elevated. So for example, كَدَأْبِ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ, this Ra is not elevated, yeah. The second Fir'aun in the same verse, you recited it properly actually, but this one was a bit elevated. So I think you are familiar with the rule. Just be a bit more vigilant, I would say. So it's كَدَأْبِ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ, yeah. It's not Fir'aun, it's Fir'aun. Recite it with a smile, it will come out properly, yeah. The second one, you did it perfectly. So that was the only point that I wanted to point out. There was a couple of areas where there was, for example, in this, where there was a kasra and you pronounced it as a fatha. So, for example, in this verse, wa imma, I think that was maybe you missed out. But otherwise, perfect recitation, mashallah. Keep it up, Hussein. Ahsan. Rehan, Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ذلك بأن الله لم يكن مغيرا نعمة أنعمها على قوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم وأن الله سميع عليم كدأب على آل فرعون والذين من قبلهم كذبوا بآية ربهم فأهلكناهم بذنوبهم وأغرقنا آل فرعون وكل كانوا ظالمين إن شر الدواب عند الله الذين كفروا فهم لا يؤمنون الذين عاهدت منهم ثم ينقضون عهدهم في كل مرة وهم لا يتقون.
Ahsan, Rehan, that was beautiful, mashallah. I'm loving the way you're doing your ikhfaz. For example, ma bi anfusihim, that was great, perfect. Even this one here, walladhina min qablihim. You know, the way you are connecting the noon and the qaf, and the noon and the fa, and also the noon and the kaf. Those are perfect examples of ikhfaz. So keep up with that. Just two areas which are of concern is short and long vowels. So for example, ذلك بأن الله لم يكن مغير. So what you are doing here is you are saying لم يكن. Don't even stretch it more than one count. Yeah, it's strictly one count. لم يكن مغيرا. So you recite the kaf with the dhamma, one count, and move on to the next letter. Okay, so don't overstretch. And for example, here, hatta, this is two counts. So this you're supposed to pull it for two counts. Yeah, hatta yughayyiru. What you are doing is you're doing 1.5 counts. So just be careful of the short and the long vowels. And the other point, which there is another rule when mim sukun is followed by a ba. So what you will do, you will apply gunna on the mim sukun and connect it with the next letter, which is the ba. Yeah, it's called idgham mim sakin. So for example, in this verse, ayah number 54, فَأَهْلَكْنَاهُمْ بِذُنُوبِهِمْ. Yeah, you connect the mim with the ba, with the gunna, yeah? So it's not فَأَهْلَكْنَاهُمْ بِذُنُوبِهِمْ. That's not correct, yeah? You're supposed to apply gunna for two counts, فَأَهْلَكْنَاهُمْ بِذُنُوبِهِمْ. So just remember those two areas. Otherwise, beautiful recitation. Keep it up. Mahir, Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ذلك بأن الله لم يكن مخيرا نعمة أنعمها على قوم حتى يخيروا ما بأنفسهم وأن الله سميع عليم كدأب آل فرعون والذين من قبلهم كذبوا بآيات ربهم فأهلكناهم بذنوبهم وأغرقنا آل فرعون وكل كانوا ظالمين إن شر الدواب عند الله الذين كفروا فهم لا يؤمنون الذين عاهدت منهم ثم ينقضون عهدهم في كل مرة وهم لا يتقون.
Ahsan, great recitation, Mahir. MashaAllah, that was good. Just a couple of areas. Again, this rule of idgham mim sakin, which I just told Rehan before you. Whenever you see a mim sukun followed by a ba, it's supposed to be فَأَهْلَكْنَاهُمْ بِذُنُوبِهِمْ. Can you repeat after me?
فأهلكناهم بذنوبهم.
Yeah, exactly. The perfect. So that's the way you're supposed to recite this particular passage. Yeah, whenever you see a mim sukun followed by a ba, remember there is a gunna and you are connecting with the ba. So it's basically called idgham mim sakin, merging of the mim with the ba. And the other point was here. Alladhina ahadta. Can you repeat this, please? Alladhina, this verse, the last one.
الذين عاهدت منهم ثم ينقضون عهدهم في كل مرة وهم لا يتقون.
Ahsan. So you will realize this dal has a sukun, yeah? But whenever you have a dal with a sukun, you're supposed to put a qalqala. But in this case, there is no qalqala. Any particular reason why there is no qalqala on this dal?
Because there's a tashdid on the ta.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, whenever two similar letters come next to each other, two similar makharij letters, yeah. So the makharij of the dal and the makharij of the ta, they come out from the same part of the mouth, yeah. So when you pronounce ta and ta, you're pronouncing it from the same part of the mouth. So whenever this dal is followed by a letter which has this same place where the makharij comes out from, and it's got a shadda, you will not apply qalqala. Yeah. For example, in Ayatul Kursi, we have qad tabayyana rushdu. Yeah. So you will merge the dal and the ta. Yeah. So same here also. Ahadta. So just remember that. Yeah. But otherwise, nice recitation. Keep it up. Ahsan. Muhammad Nazir, Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ذلك بأن الله لم يك مغيرا نعمة ذلك بأن الله لم يك مغيرا نعمة أنعمها على قوم حتى يغيروا ما بأنفسهم وأن الله سميع عليم كدأب آل فرعون والذين من قبلهم كذبوا كفروا بآيات ربهم فأهلكناهم بذنوبهم وأغرقنا آل فرعون وكل كانوا ظالمين إن شر الدواب عند الله الذين كفروا فهم لا يؤمنون الذين عاهدت منهم ثم ينقضون عهدهم في كل مرة وهم لا يتقون.
Ahsan, Muhammad Nazir. I think when you are the last reciter, you get the best advantage because all the points that I had wrote out, you have covered them all. So there was nothing really to actually point out. All the rules perfectly applied. Nowhere where, okay, there was only one area where you missed out, which I think maybe it was just slip of the tongue. وَكُلٌّ كَانُوا. This is 2 counts, yeah? كَانُوا ظَالِمِينَ. I think maybe that was just a miss, but otherwise, beautiful recitation and your tune as well. You have really worked hard on the tune, and now just keep the same basic tune and just now play around with it, yeah? So you can go down, you can go up. So try going up and up. So you have got the foundation of the tune. Now you can play around with it, yeah? So what I would suggest is you can.
The thing is, the breath, it is just I have to take, if I go higher, the breath will cut, you see.
Yeah, that's normal. That happens to everybody. And we have a professional reciter on here, Riaz uncle. He can help you with that part. When you are out of breath, he knows the tactics, how to play around with that. So that is normal. It's supposed to happen that way. But once you get the hang of it, just try going high. Even get breathless, that's not a problem. But at least you have gone high, and now you know where to correct it, yeah? So you know how to. So whenever you want to take the breath, it's advised that you fill up your chest and your stomach as well. When you're starting to recite, fill up your chest and your stomach. So you take the air from the mouth, yeah? So you'll fill up the chest and the stomach. So you have full breath, and now you're ready to recite. So that's one where you can get your Anfas proper. But otherwise, yes, you were saying something.
No, keep it up. Continue, please.
Yeah, inshallah. So just keep up the practice, and inshallah we are all here to improve.
But
I was of the same position as you were, like maybe 3-4 years ago, but now I've kind of learned. So you learn with practice, inshallah.
But the tune has improved compared to
tune. You have the basic. You have the basic tune. So now what you need to do is you can build up on it. So you need to go high, low. That's how you play around with that. So once you have the basic, now you go high and you go down, and so that's how you play around, and now that's how you develop your recitation.
Okay, inshallah.
So any questions?
Normally, I have a question, on Iqfa,
yes.
Ayat 52 and 53.
Yes.
Maybe I'm not getting it, or maybe something is not right when I recite. In the way these youngsters are reciting it's quite commendable. So
yes.
now, for example, if you look at 52, وَالَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ, yeah?
52, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, والذين. Now, when it comes to noon sakin and then followed by qablihim.
Yes.
Now, would you make that noon a silent noon? For example, either it's recited min qablihim, where the noon is not sounded, or the way I'm reciting is min qablihim, and the sum of the other reciters reciting min qablihim.
Yeah, actually, it is not idgham. Idgham means you are merging. So that happens only with the
No,
yeah. So I'm coming to that. So that happens only with the year Malun letters. So for example, so that's now merging. Yeah, the noon becomes kind of silent, and then you are pronouncing the yeah. But in this case here, it's min, and then the noon is in the position of your mouth should be in a position of pronouncing the next letter already. So it's min qablihim. Yeah, so you can see the noon is there, but the mouth is already in the position of pronouncing the next letter. So that is ikhfa.
Okay.
That's the difference between ikhfa and idgham. So it's min qablihim. The second way that you mentioned, that's the more correct way of reciting ikhfa.
Okay, and now in 53, if you see ma bi anfusihim or anfusihim.
It's anfusihim, anfusihim. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not you have to pronounce the noon. Yeah, but you connect it with the fa. So it's anfusihim. So the mouth should be in the position of pronouncing the fa, and you are now pronouncing the noon. Anfusihim. It cannot be anfusihim. Yeah, that's not correct. It's anfusihim.
Okay.
That's the
So
correct
the noon
way.
is sounded.
Yes, the noon sound has to be there.
All right, shukran.
Send for those questions. Any other questions? Okay, so we'll meet next week, inshallah.
Ahsan, inshallah.
Hafiz.
Yes.